Hello. Today we will be discussing child abuse and neglect. We will talk about the issues that come from child abuse, psychological, behavior, physical. We'll also talk about some disorders um, that occur from child abuse, and we will also be talking about a solution to how to prevent child abuse and some issues that come with the solution, such as things that make the solution difficult, and what we can do to make the solution a bit easier. To begin with, we will begin by discussing the effects of child abuse, such as that child abuse may lead to improper brain development. That improper brain development might lead to dissociative identity disorder, which we'll talk about later, or avoidant personality disorder, which we will also touch on later. Child abuse may also lead to impaired cognitive and social emotional skills, lower language development, blindness, cerebral palsy. These come from head traumas, such as the child's head being banged against the wall, or slamming on any other object. We will also discuss uh, anxiety and how child abuse may lead to smoking, alcoholism, and drug abuse. Um, right now, I would like to touch upon the effects on behavioral aspect. Um, the children who experience abuse and neglect are at an increased risk for smoking, alcoholism, drug abuse, and high risk sexual behavior. This is due to the neglect and abuse. The kids' self worth diminishes. Uh, their stress levels heighten. They feel um, they feel worthless at times, and as they get on with their life, or as they get older, they start using scapegoats to cope with the worthlessness that they feel. So at times they fall to either smoking, which we know that these these uh, these drugs, if we call them, um, they can lead to other health risks as they are continued, or as they are practiced further in life, such as health disease or lung cancer, uh, things dealing with alcoholism, and now we will be discussing about the physical aspect. Abuse and neglect during infancy or early childhood can cause regions of the brain to form and function improperly, with long-term consequences. These these consequences are seen in disorders like dissociative identity disorder, where um, if a person is like physically or sexually abused, or a kid, sorry, they tend to create this little safe haven inside the brain, which creates another personality within the brain or within the mind. The second personality uh, at times enjoys what is occurring to the child, and that provokes the abuser at times to increase the abuse or increase the the form of abuse. Another disorder is avoidant personality disorder, and this comes from like neglect. Um, Neglect usually occurs when harsh criticism and rejection in early childhood. This could lead the child to possibly assume that others will always judge them as harshly as their parents did when they were a kid, and this can go on into early adolescence, late teens. So this is a serious. These are serious cases. Therefore, taking everything into consideration, um, after discussing the disorders that can be created after abuse or neglect, after discussing physical and behavioral aspects of it, I believe that childhelp.org is a great stakeholder. It is a great partner to be able to work with to help prevent abuse and neglect. It would be amazing if abuse and neglect would never happen to a child, as we all know that when it does, it puts a child into a corner, it backs them up into a corner, and it belittles them. I like childhelp.org because they contain prevention programs, um, such as Child Help Speak Up, Be Safe, basically teaching the kids to speak up if they are abused. They also have a community center which promotes and encourages the spiritual, emotional, and physical well being of children, young adults, and families in need. They have intervention programs which intervene and they help remove the child from abusive and dangerous situations. Um, these are in extreme cases. If the abuse could be um, erased from the person that's doing it, then I don't think removal is necessary. But I believe removal should be necessary in any type of abuse. Um, Also, they also provide treatment programs, and they exist to give children a safe haven with love and the tools needed to overcome their damaging pasts. And I think this is wonderful because at times kids don't feel like they can just walk up to somebody and start talking about all the issues that are going on. I feel like having adults being there as their safe haven is a wonderful idea because we need these kids to open up to somebody, and at the same time we need them to feel safe. We need them to be comfortable around people. So I think childhelp.org is the perfect choice for my stakeholder. I believe that with childhelp.org, a solution to child abuse and neglect um, is to teach parents not to discipline their children if they are in a bad mood. Um, Studies show that when parents are in a bad mood and they try to influence their kids, um, they usually end up hurting the kids mentally or verbally or physically. Um, so we have to decrease the number of parents and teach them that when they are in a bad mood, they should not try to discipline their children. They should like allow the parent and the other parent to do it if they are in a good mood, or if it's in the case of like a only parent, wait till they're in a good mood and then bring up the topic and talk to the child. um, Another thing that we can do is teach the children that abuse is not okay and speaking up is okay. That speaking up can save people's lives because some abuse can be fatal. And this is shown from studies that some parents, after the kids have been removed and then they show some improvement, and then the kids are put back into their parents' home, some kids never make it back alive, and it's a very sad thing. And I think I think that we must be harder on the parents and also provide education for the kids, such as talking to the Department of Education to provide information in elementary schools, middle schools, showing the kids or teaching them that abuse and neglect is not okay, that if it's occurring in their home, it's something that should be talked about with someone at school, such as like the school psychologist. Um, it's something that they should be able to bring up so that us, as the third party, can come and help the parents realize that what they're doing is wrong, or help the kids feel more comfortable, give them a safe haven, as mentioned in the last slide. So I feel like with childhelp.org, we can make all this happen. A thing to bring up is that no solution is perfect. Just like my solution, it's not perfect because there's always going to be some flaws, such as some children might be too scared to speak up, because of what's going on in their home. They might feel like if they bring this into the family, it might burden the family even more from what they're going through at the moment. Another thing is that some kids are just unaware. The unawareness can be fixed if we do what I talked about earlier and talk to the Department of Education and be able to provide all this information in elementary and middle schools, so the kids are aware that abuse is not okay, that neglect is not okay. Um, but the thing is, it's with my solution, it's also very difficult to prevent child abuse without it occurring. Like if child abuse doesn't occur, or if child abuse occurs and the kid brings it up, then we can step in and help the parents realize that it isn't okay, or help the kids realize that it's okay to speak up, that what the parent was doing was wrong. But the thing is if child abuse does occur and the child does not speak up, then most likely it's gonna keep happening behind closed doors, and we can't help prevent that. We can't butt in because we don't know that it's occurring. There might be assumptions or speculations within teachers, but the thing is if the child does not speak up, we might never find out that the child is being abused in their home. Well, that's the end of my presentation to my stakeholders at childhelp.org. Um, Child abuse is never okay. It will never be okay. And I hope better preventative measures are created so the numbers in child abuse and neglect decrease significantly in the upcoming years. Thank you.